Hey everybody, so the NHL season starts tonight. As you can see, I'm all decked out in my Bruins stuff for the game tonight. I will be live streaming during the game, doing my usual live stream thing where I talk about what's going on, and then, obviously we have a big discussion with everyone in the chat. So tune in for that if you're interested. So that will be starting at 7:30 when the Bruins and Capitals game starts. But before we get to that, and before we get to the new season, we have big-time suspension news. Washington Capitals forward Tom Wilson has been suspended 20 games, so basically a quarter of the season, for his hit on Oskar Sundqvist in the last preseason game. Obviously, I was going to do a video before the suspension even came down just on how stupid this hit was. But then I decided no, because then I'd have to do another one when the actual suspension was handed out. And I figured it'd be better just to combine it all into one video. So, 20 games, obviously, this is because it's Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson is the new Raffi Torres of the NHL. He is the #1 marked man from a league perspective. He's made questionable hits throughout his career. He's made some really, really big hits, some clean, some very not clean. And the league is watching everything he does. And if someone else made this hit, if this was just some random, average third line player that made this hit, it'd probably be like a 6 to 8 game suspension, probably closer to 6. But because it's Tom Wilson, and because he's been suspended so many times, and he's made these hits over and over and over again, and doesn't seem to stop making these hits, he's getting a huge suspension for it. And I think 20 games is a little bit extreme, but because of who it is, I'm not surprised, because the league has told Wilson over and over and over again not to target the head, not to blindside guys. Keep your feet on the ice, which he did with this hit. And he continues to make really bad plays. So I think the 20 games is a little bit extreme, but it's obviously because it's Wilson. If this was anyone else, it would not be a 20-game suspension. But this is just... I like Tom Wilson. I love his physicality. I think the league is better when it's a physical league and when there are more players like that. But I can't defend him anymore after how stupid this hit was. You know that you're a marked man from the league's Department of Player Safety perspective. They are after you. They are watching everything you do with a microscope. And you're going to pull this shit in a preseason game that means absolutely nothing? How stupid are you? Wilson shouldn't have even been hitting in the preseason. You're an established player. You're not fighting for a roster spot. You've just signed a massive contract worth over $5 million per year, which he is already losing $1.2 million in salary because of this suspension. So way to go there, Willie. But, you're an established player. You're not fighting for a roster spot. You are on the team. You are in the lineup. It doesn't matter if you don't even play in the preseason. You are in the lineup. So why he should not have even been hitting. Todd Reardon should have sat him down and said, if you do anything more than bump someone with a little shoulder nudge in the preseason, I'm not playing you. It's not worth it. But, so why is he out there flying around laying blindside hits in a preseason game that means nothing? It's not like he's, some 20-year-old up-and-coming, fourth-line tough guy who's trying to make a name for himself and show everyone how tough he is and how physical he is. Everyone knows that Tom Wilson's physical. He's always near the top of the league in fights every year. He's obviously throws tons of hits, some very bad hits, some very, very good hits. But he just... What do you have to prove if you're Tom Wilson? This is just so stupid. to line someone up in the middle of the ice from the blind side and then just drill him right in the head is just absolutely idiotic. And this is 100% Tom Wilson's fault that he would even throw a hit like this. And it's a little bit of Todd Reardon and the Washington Capitals coaching staff fault that they didn't sit him down and make it very clear that in the preseason, you don't touch anybody. Don't even come close. Don't do anything remotely suspendable because you are the most watched player in the league when it comes to suspensions. The league is after you. If you do anything, they're going to jump all over the chance to suspend you for a long time. And he gave them that chance, and now they've done it. 20 games, a quarter of the season. He's a first-line player on the Capitals. He was supposed to be on the top line with Kuznetsov and Ovechkin like he was in the playoffs last year. Your first-line right winger is now gone for a quarter of the season because he's an idiot. All you have to do is not make any questionable hits. If it's a regular season and you're playing full speed and the games matter and you're out there and you know it happens. But in a preseason game that means nothing, when you're an established player who has nothing to lose, you're not earning anything. Everyone knows how tough you are. You have a roster spot. You're a top 6 forward at this point. And you're going to go do dumb shit like that. The Capitals should be furious. They just gave this guy so much money, and he's still running around doing stupid stuff like that. It's just mind-boggling. I can't defend Tom Wilson anymore because this is of everything he's done in the league and of all the bad hits he's made. At least they've been in playoff games. They've been in highly intense games. They've been in games that mattered for the most part, except for last preseason when he once again had a suspendable hit from boarding against the same frickin' team, St. Louis. But I can't defend him anymore because you have to be a complete moron to blindside someone at the blue line in a preseason game when... I mean, to do that in general is stupid, but especially when you know that the league is all over you. It just doesn't get any dumber than that. So that's my reaction to the Tom Wilson hit and the subsequent suspension. I think 20 games is a little harsh, but that's because it's Tom Wilson. If this was anybody else, it would not even be close to 20. It'd be probably a 6-game suspension. And I figured he'd probably get 10. I thought, if you had asked me before the suspension came out, how long is Wilson going to be suspended, I probably would have said 10 games. So I'm a little surprised that it's 20, but again, at this point, I'm not that surprised, and the league's just had enough of this guy. It's like, and it's not that I don't like Wilson. I love physical players, but at some point you have to start using your head and just stop being an idiot. And this hit was just this was the stupidest hit I've seen in the NHL in a long time. This was just pure stupidity. So Wilson's gone for a quarter of the season. That's going to suck. That's going to make Capitals games a lot less interesting because, as far as toughness goes, he was really it. So they're a lot less tougher with him out of the lineup, and he's gone for a good chunk of this year. So that kind of sucks. But again, he deserves it just for being a moron at this point. So like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. Check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are down in the description. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to tune in if you can to tonight's live stream, which will be starting at 7:30, which this video will probably upload right about 7:30. So if you're watching this video, early on, be sure to hop over to the live stream as soon as you're done. And I'll be hanging out, talking to everyone as the Bruins and Capitals face off. A Tom Wilson-less Washington Capitals team. So that's all I got. Hope to see you during the live stream. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.